What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. My name is Splattercat, and today we're playing another episode of Expeditions Conquistador, where we had landed in Mexico, and we were taking a look around. We were getting situated with the lay of the land, and this entire area seems to be a bit more freeform than all of the areas that we have previously engaged in. And so where we had left off, we had headed inland, and we had found ourselves a wife down here who is now part of our hunting team. Yep, she's pretty proficient, to be honest. She's one of those do-it-yourself type of ladies, and we went inwards to the west, inland, to the first Aztec city, Xalapa, to see if we could find ourselves a task, because as of right now, we actually don't have a whole lot of things to work on. Our quest log is absolutely empty, and we're trying to end up in a spot where we actually have something to do. And so let's camp for the evening, then we'll head into town, and we'll see how things end up there. Let's give Tiana a job. We want to give her hunting, I think, because that's really what she's good at. She's pretty good at patrolling as well, surprisingly, and so we may be able to put her to use there later on, once we get a feel for that. And Trebino is still on patrol duty. I'm going to give him guard duty, since guard difficulty is high here. And then we'll go ahead and let me take a look at my rations list real fast to make sure everybody's getting fed. Okay, meat consumption's looking pretty good. How are we on the way to... Ooh, 1 day till we get the new carts. All right, and so our guards failed. They stole 1,200 valuables. Lovely. That was just a screw-up of monolithic proportions, and I mean, we have so much gold with it. That's why I try not to carry it around with us, but here we go. That night, Anna Vidal returns from her patrol with a beaming smile and a dead hare in her hand. Oh, she found the watering hole again, and so we get 30 meat. We've had that event a number of times before, so you'll forgive me if I don't read through it for the 8th time or so, but let's head into Xalapa and see if we can find ourselves anything to do. And so they got this large cubicle structure, and then it looks like this stagey-type building palisade thing over here has some type of function, so we'll run over here and we'll talk to whoever's here. In a large serene valley covered in lush vegetation, you discover the city of Xalapa. The citizens you encounter on the way towards the city proper are all remarkably polite, though they do stare quite a bit as one might expect. Eventually, we meet a small patrol of warriors, and they request our permission to take us to the Chieftain, Tepictoton. There we go. And so we meet him. You are taken through the city to a large house of multiple rooms, not quite a palace, but certainly built for a similar purpose. On a stall in a large room just past the entrance sits a man in his late 30s. He is not dressed in any way that might set him apart from anyone else in the city, but something about his demeanor signals power and authority. The chieftain stands as you enter, takes one step towards you, and addresses us in what sounds like a humorous and rather irreverent tone. A young woman next to him translates the words into impeccable Spanish. Well, another group of white people has come across the sea, shining like silver statuettes. Don't bother pretending to be gods, my people won't fall for that twice, and I never did. And so we can say, as you have preemptively foiled my plans, I'll just introduce myself. Or we can say, we do not intend to deceive him, and regardless of what others have done, our intentions are peaceful. And then we can demand his respect and threaten to attack him. I'm going to go with the center option and say that we're peaceful, because we don't need trouble right now. Our aggressive followers decided to get grumpy about that. I don't really know why they would be grumpy about well, I guess they're aggressive, but I don't know. I know aggressive people, and still, like, avoiding conflict is generally easier in the overall scheme of things, but whatever. And so he says, that is certainly a comfort, though I dare say you would be hard-pressed to act as your predecessor did, given that he commanded hundreds of his kind, and my warriors report that you have brought but a handful. He cuts himself off with an irritated hand wave, but forgive my manners, I've long been subjected to such disrespect from those who consider themselves my superiors that I have quite forgotten how to show respect myself. Come to Xalapa, El Gato del Splatter. Tepictoton absolutely butchers your name, but his interpreter pronounces it perfectly in the translation. It seems my predecessor has left you with a bad impression of my people. I will attempt not to let my bias poison our dealings. Now tell me, how can our peaceful settlement accommodate you and your people? Let's see. And we only seek a place to rest and restock. He says, yes, of course, if you wish to trade, I'm not the one you must convince of your worthiness, but rather those of my people who convene daily in the market to exchange the fruits of their labor. He leans a little to the side of his throne, and you are reminded of a magpie eyeing a fruit that has landed slightly too close to a cat. Unless, perhaps you're interested in a mutually beneficial arrangement. See, that's what I wanted. I wanted an offer we couldn't refuse. Let's move this thing along. Cue the horns, Scorsese, so forth. And let's see here. Well, I guess Francis Ford Coppola, but what would be the nature of this arrangement? I'm looking to rid myself of the influence of an empire. I've been working on this matter for quite some time, but your people present a unique opportunity to hasten the process. First and foremost, I must unite the Totonac peoples under my leadership. This is the problem I have most recently stumbled over, as the Totonac have only ever been ruled by their individual chieftains. There is an idol once possessed by my father. It is held to be holy by our shamans, and though my father never exploited its political power, I am certain I could make better use of it if I could reclaim it, only he lost it to another chieftain in battle many years ago. I see where this is going. He says, it will not be the sort of problem it might sound like. The chieftain who took the idol from my father recently passed away. He had no heir, but unfortunately his tribe still refuses to give up the idol. You could convince them otherwise. Well, let's see if we can persuade them. He eyes your weapon with concern but says nothing. I trust that you will not act recklessly in this matter. That said, as long as you return to me with the idol in hand, I may forgive any indiscretion. Good luck, Spaniard. The chieftain's young translator gives you a peculiar, that's like nuclear. It's one of those things, a peculiar look when you leave, God. Alright, and so we've got another thing that's flagged up right here, so let's take a look. Xalapa's market is fairly large and seems to be well stocked with a wide variety of goods from the surrounding farmland and other Totonac towns. A group of artisans in the corner are selling items for the trappers and seem willing to sell to you as well if you will pay the price. Let's look at their trappers' items. They will buy, we can buy spike traps. Let's haggle. We drive a hard bargain, but we aren't quite good enough. Yep, we fell short. Well, I am gonna buy some spike traps because we have lots of money laying around, and I like spike traps. They seem to just almost two-shot people, and that seems to be a good thing for us. Now, we don't need much more equipment, and honestly, I don't really know what we should stock up on here. I'm gonna buy the equipment just because we have the extra gold laying around. And so we'll take the equipment, but everything else I think we'll keep on hand because honestly, we have such a large supply of everything that I don't really see anything going ridiculously wrong here in the greater scheme of things. The game seems to use a percentage-based calculation whenever you get robbed, and so it seems like a good idea to keep your rations somewhere in the middle, your valuables somewhere in the middle, because the more you have, the more that gets stolen. That seems to be good enough for now, and let's take a look at our map and see if they gave us any type of direction here that we should head off in. Totonac. Okay, so I'm assuming that's where they want us to go. What is this? A cave. We should probably go check out the cave, too. Caves always have cool stuff. My Skyrim senses are tingling. Caves always have cool stuff. Normally of the shiny variety, which I am more than happy to take a look at. I'm much like a crow or a magpie, as they just brought up, in that I like shiny things. I'm easily distracted. You let your people explore Xalapa by themselves. It's fairly charming for such a large city. It seems to be well off, and its people are friendly once they get over their initial fear of the unfamiliar. When you just about feel like you've familiarized yourself with the place, a commotion near one of the elders' huts alerts you that one of your people has transgressed in some way against the locals. We'll look at the commotion here. Bernardo Trevino is standing half naked in front of one of the local elders, who is shouting and screaming in very upset tones at the soldier. Capitan, help me calm this crazy lady down. She's out of her mind. What's happened and where are your clothes? He can't help but grin sheepishly. I may have fooled around a little with this lady's daughter. It was consensual, I assure you. This mad old hag will hear none of it, though. God, let's tell him not to get involved with the natives for right now, because honestly, I don't really want to have to do cleanup work of any variety. If I have to follow my troops around with a mop and bucket, this whole thing is going to definitely sour my mood. He salutes in his half-dressed state. The gesture takes on a slightly comical vibe. It won't happen again, but please. She says she's put a curse on me. Can you get her to take it back? Let's see if we can reason with her. You argue, haggle, pester, and threaten for hours, and eventually it does help a little. With assurances from her child that it was all completely consensual and appeals from their fellow elders, they forgive us, and she revokes the curse, and we depart amicably. Good. The last thing we need is pesky curses. And so let's see if we can find this cave, first and foremost. Returning to your caravan on the outskirts of Xalapa, a girl of 14 or 15 years of age stops you on the road. You recognize her as the young woman who translated the Chieftain Tepictotun's words into flawless Spanish. Excuse me, Senor Del Splatter, I wish to make a request of you. You're the Chieftain's translator, aren't you? What's your name? There are no pauses in the girl's speech. She is talking much faster now than she was when she was translating for Tepictotun. That name is catching me up every single time. My name is Anna Kauna. Yes, you met me in the throne room. I want to ask if I can come with you. It would mean a lot to me if you would let me. Why do you seek to leave your people? She takes a deep breath and you steel yourself for another onslaught of words. She wants to experience adventure like us or her uncle Miguel and hates the idea of staying in the stupid city and spending her entire life here with whatever oaf wins her hand in marriage. She says that everyone wants to find a boy other than her, and she just wants to explore and see places and have fun. Think about how useful it would be to have me with you. I'm better at Spanish than anyone else you'll meet, I promise. I can translate for you, and I've learned about the Olmec and Toltec, and I can read the old glyphs. And I'm a chieftain's daughter. I'm a diplomatic asset, right? How did you learn to speak Spanish so well? Uncle Miguel taught me. Well, he's not my real uncle, but he might as well be family. He left a few months ago because he thought it would be dangerous to stay in Xalapa. He came with Capitan Gutierrez, but stayed behind when the expedition left because he liked it here, and he taught me lots of things about Spain and Europe and to understand and speak Spanish so I could translate for father. Tepictoten is my father. Wouldn't he be angry if you came with us? She shakes her head vigorously. Nope. But then she nods quietly. Well, maybe. I mean, his warriors would have to do something. I think that's a rule. I'm gonna stay... No, yeah, he'll be fine with it, I promise. I'll make him see that it's alright. Yeah, I'm gonna have her stay here. She crosses her arms across her chest and scrouges up her face, which makes her look more like a petulant 8-year-old than a young woman. Oh, it's not fair. Fine, leave without me, but if it makes no difference, I'm going to run away sooner or later. I can't stand this stupid city anymore. She turns and runs back to the chieftain's house. Your people are staring after her like they can't believe she's for real. Yeah, I'm not gonna piss off the only ally I've got so far. There's something to be said about one hand washing the other, and right now we have a business arrangement, and I'm not gonna risk my own safety on it. Oh, we have to go around to get to this cave. Well, that's what we're going to do then. We're going to follow the only road. And, well, not even the road. We're just going to head off into the mountains now. It looks like we've got a rather large adventure ahead of us, so let's go ahead and camp. With cart level 3 completed. Oh, we had 30 meat. I forgot that we caught that group of hares or whatever in between levels, unfortunately. So that's all fine and gone. Let's go over here, and we're going to exploit this pond of cooliness, and then we're going to head back over here. And let's see if we can find our way to this cave. Looks like we're going to have to go around the horn right here with this mountain range. I'm going to snag the treasure, even though it means we're not going to make it to the cave today because we lost a little bit in that last exchange with bandits and thieves and so forth. And then we're going to cave it on up, do a little bit of spelunking. And it looks like Julio Barreto is all done there, so we can assign him to do some construction. We can make just about anything with him right now. And I believe I'll go with spike traps at the given moment. And so we get a spike trap, we hunt 11 meat, and everything else goes right as rain. I never understood that saying, right as rain. Rain tends to be wrong for most plans, but I don't know, maybe it was made by farmers or somebody that really, really needs rain, who knows. Your expedition is passing by a cave when Laszlo Pavlik shouts for everyone to halt. The soldier has noticed a large assortment of human bones distributed around the cave entrance. We'll examine it. A set of very large animal tracks are visible around the cave entrance. You know enough about hunting to identify the tracks as feline, though it appears to be remarkably large specimen. Kitties! Let's see if we can find kitties. Alejandro Pintado stares at the animal's tracks in the mud with stars in his eyes. That is an enormous animal. Whatever creature left these prints, we should make every effort to capture it alive, Captain. Let's see. We can use somebody as human bait, or we can set up a spike trap at the cave entrance. Let's set up a spike trap. We set it up personally, and it's hidden under some leaves, and we place some meat in front of the trap for good measure. And we wait. You don't have to wait long before a huge shape comes into the view of the cave opening. What must be the world's largest Jaguar, as people say in the car advertisements, prowls slowly out of the dark cave. It stops just before reaching your trap, sniffing the air suspiciously. Next to you, a few of your people can be heard swearing under their breaths. The beast takes a few more steps forward towards the bait, and the trap is sprung. The sharp spikes burst out of the leaves and embed themselves in the side of the giant jaguar. It lets out a bone-chilling scream and pries itself off the trap before collapsing on the ground next to the bait, blood oozing from its fur. Well, that didn't go according to plan. I was hoping maybe we'd just catch its foot, but I appear to have maimed it, unfortunately. Let's see what we can do here. Her fur would fetch a fine price on the markets back in the old country. On the other hand, if you could treat her wounds, a live specimen like this might come in handy someday. Although your people might not appreciate her company. Let's heal the jaguar. And so you unpack your medicinal supplies. I want a pet cat. If this thing works out and we actually get a jaguar we can bring into combat, I'm going to bring it every single time. I will get rid of somebody else for a jaguar. Think of how badass that would be, guys. And then maybe we get to name it, too. We unpack our supplies. It's lost too much blood to resist your treatment, and when you're done, it seems like the creature will live. You immediately have your rather worried-looking servants tie it up and bring it to the carts. We'll have to construct a cage for it when you make camp tonight. All right, and so we got ourselves a companion, although I'm not so sure how happy the companion will be about being in our group. Let's see if it added it to our character list. Let's see here. Nope, no kitty in the character list, unfortunately. And so... Ooh, we have enough skill points to raise somebody else to sergeant. Now, I don't really want to raise the doctor to sergeant because he just gets smoke bomb. I don't really know. Pintado's been pretty loyal, and I think it's probably a good plan to raise him up. However, Martinez could use an upgrade as well to Veteran. And so what I think I'll do is let's take the opportunity to raise Trevino and Martinez to Veteran. And so they gained guard, which means all the units adjacent will get a defense bonus equal to the soldiers. And we can give her an ability now. I think what I'll do is, I like Bloodthirsty a lot. Bloodthirsty's pretty good. And then we may also consider giving them something that will reduce the damage they take from attacks. However, we could increase her crit, but I don't think that's going to be that useful. I think what I will do is go with, well, Opportunist has only been useful once or twice. Let's go with Relentless. Every time they attack, they have a chance to get a double swing. We'll see what happens there. And so we'll max out her guarding, and then we'll also go with Patrolling as the next ability. We'll also take Trevino, and we're going to knock him on up to Veteran. We're going to give him the same ability, I think, actually. We're going to give him... Let's see, where is it? Where did it go? Relentless, yes. Because the double attack right there is a big thing. Even though it doesn't have a great chance of happening, that's one of those things that if you can pop it even every now and again, it's going to be just amazingly useful. It's going to put you on a whole new tier of usefulness. I haven't really given it to anyone else as of yet because I've been trying to justify the... Hey, what is this? There's a gravestone over here. Let's go check it out. And so let's camp here for the night. We're camping in a graveyard. We can raid the burial grounds. Natives have been known to bury their dead nearby. Send an expedition member to search the graves for valuables. Higher patrolling skills and our own scouting will increase the potential loot from the robbing. This is dirty work, however, and it may hurt the morale of the expedition member that has been assigned. I think, yeah, let's do it. Let's see what we can do with the burial grounds here. I know I passed up on it last time, but in the interest of empirical data, I think I'd like to find out what happens. So... it looks like everything's okay. She got some trinkets from there, and so we only got like 100 valuables. That actually wasn't that great. A heavy tombstone marks a gravesite. The marker is well constructed from sturdy materials, but it is inelegant. The text is chiseled with no sense of beauty, but is clearly readable. Let's dig it. You exhume a buried corpse. The skull is encrusted with gold and studded with crystals. Very cool. So we got 200 valuables out of that altogether. We were a little shady about the whole dealing, but we got some treasure out of it. So finders, keepers, losers, weepers. Well, losers can't weep because they're dead, unfortunately. Well, for him, not for me. His treasure is now my treasure, and we can spend it on all manner of intoxicants. And so let's head to the Totonac village. Let's see if we can get some things done here, but we will be on the lookout for any form of adventure as we carry along. Because honestly, I'd like to knock out as many of the side quests as possible while I'm here. I mean, I'm not going to look up a guide or anything. Anything that I miss, I miss. But for the time being, if we see anything noted on the map, I'd love to jump straight in. Things like those graves, I like that they added that sort of thing in here. In fact, expansions for this game where you go to Panama and things like that might be kind of interesting. Or maybe down to Chile or other things. Be very, very cool because I like the free roaming nature that Mexico has to offer here. It looks like we got food for the day, we got another spike trap, and so that's good. But as I was saying, I like the free roaming aspects that Mexico has versus Hispaniola. Hispaniola felt very much like the whole thing was a guided tour, and I guess for the earlier half of the game, that's probably a good thing. It kind of teaches you to get your weight set in, it teaches you how to survive the game. But now that we're in Mexico, I'm a free roamer. I will freely admit that. I like anything that allows you to free roam, or at least allows you a large amount of control over your operation, and so for the time being, I'm actually enjoying Mexico quite a bit more than I enjoyed Hispaniola. We have some extra meat, I'm not going to worry about it. We have 61 herbs on hand, so I should probably get somebody set away turning those into medications for later. We'll put Anavidal back on patrol duty, and then I'm also going to go to my tinkering menu here with Barreto, and we're not going to have him do spike traps anymore. I think I'll have him make a few barricades, I guess. I don't really know how many barricades we have. Oh, guards allowed people to steal 37 medicine, but if you subtract the 16 medicine that we made, we actually only lost like 21, I guess. Over here, it looks like we've got some kind of event or a little village. Is this the village we were headed out for? Oh, we made amazing time. And so let's see what we can get done here. I'd prefer to avoid conflict, but if they come out swinging, we're going to do the same thing. And I think the things that we are swinging will be a little bit more effective than the things that they are swinging. And so in the greater scheme of the swingery, I think we'll do better. Oh, look, we have another mushroom hut. Maybe we'll get to trip again. Get our salvia on. This must be the village where Tepictoten instructed you to seek the holy idol that his father lost. It's a few hundred people. residing here, and it's difficult to imagine that such a small village could defeat Xalapa in battle. Let's find the guy who's in charge. The reluctant villagers point us in the direction of the new chieftain, who is out in the fields overseeing work. It appears that the young woman is paralyzed with fear as you approach. Are you the ruler of this village? She nods slowly. We seek a holy idol that once belonged to Xalapa. Do you know what we're talking about? She nods. Where is it? She stares. Her facial expression is so convincingly blank that your interpreter feels the need to guarantee that your question was clearly and accurately translated. Do you have it? Once again, we'll repeat ourselves. She shakes her head. No. Do you know where it is? She still stares at us. Finally, a man who looks to be a few years younger than the softly spoken chieftain all but pushes her aside and fixes you with a disapproving frown. She doesn't like talking to you. What do you want with the idol? Who are you? My name is Tlali. I'm her brother. Who are you? My name is Elgato del Splatter. I have been asked to retrieve the idol for the chieftain of Xalapa. It doesn't belong to Xalapa. My father took it fair and square after we beat them in a ball game. I was told it was lost in battle. Then you were lied to. It was a game. We won and the idol was our prize. It belongs to us. Let's see if we can buy it off of them, because we were obviously sent here under false pretenses, so nobody deserves to die in this situation. Had it been stolen, I'd have no problem fighting for it. In fact, if they were being belligerent, I would fight for it, although we have no guarantee that he's not lying to us as well. But since I'm an impressionable youth, I will go ahead and take their, well, not so much a youth anymore. Should probably retract that one. But in any case, I'm going to take his word for it, because what do they have to lose, to be honest? Let's see what they want. He folds his arms across his chest. It is a holy idol of great importance to the tribe, and we will not part with it. Let's offer him... Let's try the medium option. He raises his eyebrows but keeps cool. After a little back and forth, the boy agrees to your offer. Such an amount of treasure would do our village more good than the idol ever has. I'm certain my sister will agree. And so all of our aggressive people got grumpy, our peaceful people got cool, our greedy people got grumpy, and our altruistic people were also cool with the situation. So there was a little bit of a shifting of the overall morale there. We'll probably take a look, kind of sneak through the morale list and see what we can do. Thank you. We will treat the idol with respect. Tlali nods satisfied. Then he and his sister each grab one handle of the big chest he brought with them and carry it off to the village, or we brought to them. Let's see what's going on here. Can we trade? Oh, we can. So they offer to sell us ropes. I don't think we really need ropes right now, but we will take a look at the rest of their supplies. Let's go ahead, and they took some treasure from us, and I think it would be in our best interest to maybe get some treasure in exchange for medicine at this point. We have a lot of medicine on hand, and I really just don't think we're going to need that much, although maybe that's a bit too much to give away, but oop, I didn't finalize the trade. So there we go. And so we'll get a little bit of treasure back before we head to Xalapa. Let's go on over here in the mushroom fields. Let's go take a look and see what this hut's got going on for it. Is there anything contextual we can do right here? No. Okay, so we'll grab this treasure chest and then we'll head back to Xalapa, and right about the time we arrive there, I think it'll probably be a good time to break off the episode. So, the swampy fields of Mexico at the moment, we're not so much in the jungle anymore, which is pretty cool. We aren't playing The Who and so forth and having weird Vietnam flashbacks. Let's go ahead and have people continue to herbalize while still maintaining our guard duty. We find 170 valuables, and our hunting party returns with game. We also created another barricade, which is good because I want to be able to dictate the field of combat from here on out. I know that some of you have grimaced a great deal by the fact that I haven't been using my preparation phases very well, but I have become sort of addicted to the fact that I can put down ridiculous booby traps and just spike people up, get them all caught up in a bear trap, and then laugh at them. And so we'll continue to rest here. And it looks like we got 6 rations, and our hunters did not do so well last night, so we're going to have to lean on our rations a little bit. Doesn't matter because we've got a veritable pile of rations going on right now, so we are well fed to begin with. And Xalapa looks like it's pretty close, so I'll do my closing spiel here. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here in the Nerd Castle. During the course of this episode, I've had a lot of fun kind of meandering our way through the central area of the Americas. I hope you've enjoyed these episodes. There will be more in the future. There will be one coming back every single day. If you want to get upgrades or updates on the channel pretty frequently, check out the Twitter and the Facebook that I've linked on the channel. That said, I'll see you guys next time tomorrow, and take care out there, everybody.